The awards categories eligible for student submissions included both general design and analysis and planning. The Student Awards category recognizes excellence in the application of design theory and curriculum to the broad base of the landscape architecture profession. Receiving a Student Merit Award for analysis and planning is Food Land Culture, prepared by a student team from the Department of Landscape Architecture at the North Carolina State University. The jury appreciated the students' efforts at expanding the traditional role of landscape architecture into a focus of cultural sustainability. The concept of allowing seasonality in the landscape to blend with a cultural framework for multiple land users is well illustrated in the graphic representations. The jury loved the direction this team took at solving a delicate land use dilemma. Receiving a Student Merit Award for analysis and planning is Living with Floods, 2050, a novel framework for assisted migration, prepared by a student team from the Department of Landscape Architecture at the North Carolina State University. The jury recognized and agreed with the value of keeping residents after Hurricane Matthew in the community they called home, rather than financially supporting their migration away from their town. The jury noted that the economic and demographic analyses were critical to understanding the design team's solution and were pleased to see comprehensive solutions to keep the residents in Belvoir. The jury appreciated the potential uses presented by the design team for the land within the floodplain. Receiving a Student Honor Award for analysis and planning is Adkin Revival, prepared by a student team from the Department of Landscape Architecture at the North Carolina State University. This student team prepared a strong analysis of the flood zone and the impacts associated with property acquisition and future use, commented the jury. The jury remarked how the story of Kinston's natural disasters began with a strong precipitation analysis and continued with great work on the remaining areas of research. The jury appreciated the team's efforts in the funding sections. Solid work, the jury commented. Receiving a Student Honor Award for analysis and planning is Connecting Kinston's Assets for a More Resilient Future, prepared by a student team from the Department of Landscape Architecture at the North Carolina State University. The jury was impressed with the team's, quote, thorough presentation from analysis to implementation. The graphics were clear and concise and visually compelling, and they enjoyed the use of rendered sections as a tool to communicate the design intent. This submission is very strong, commented the jury. It demonstrates great collaboration, clear design process, and a wonderful display of graphics. The jury was pleased to see that the overall designs highlighted human and social factors in addition to the natural systems. Receiving a Student Honor Award for analysis and planning is Staying Above the Blackwater, prepared by a student team from the Department of Landscape Architecture at the North Carolina State University. The jury applauded the team's comprehensive approach to the town of Windsor, North Carolina. The team recognized that local hydrology of Windsor was connected to a larger system involving creeks that feed the Cashy River and ultimately to the Albemarle Sound. The jury loved the naturalistic concept of a leaky dam in the headwaters of the Cashy River as an effective component in the overall strategy. The jury noted that little things like the leaky dam structure can add up to an extremely effective solution that has regional implications. The jury supported the team's efforts to keep most elements biological in nature so that the implementation could be conducted without any negative environmental impacts.